Hey everybody, this video is going to explain the homework assignments in the Week 9 module. So when you click on the Week 9 Homework Assignments tab, after you've watched this video, you'll see 3 sub-tabs listed. The first asks you to read Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is titled The Research Path. So again, you guys have already taken Comp 2. You should have already learned the basics of how to write research papers. So you might not need to really spend very much time on chapter 13, but I would at least open the book up and just peruse the chapter, just in case there's something that you want to look at more closely as we're writing the course project essay and revising it and getting the final draft ready. Okay. The second sub-tab is for Week 9, Assignment 1, Integrating Sources. And I really want to explain this assignment. So you'll notice when you go to the assignment itself, there will be 2 attachments to it. The first is an essay on the movie Halloween, and the second is an essay called More Chores, Fewer Allergies, right? You're going to need both of those to complete certain parts of this assignment, but that's why they're there, okay? So Week 9 Assignment 1 is broken down into 2 parts. Part 1, we're going to work on practicing summaries and paraphrases, okay? So question 1 says, below is a sample passage followed by 3 examples. See if you can identify which example is a summary, which example is a paraphrase, and which example inadvertently plagiarizes. And then you have the passage, right? It starts off, Empire State College has a policy, blah, blah, blah. So read that passage, and then below that passage are the 3 examples, A, B, and C. One of them provides a summary of that passage, one of them provides a paraphrase of it, and one of them accidentally plagiarizes. So your job for question 1 is to tell me which one is the summary, which one is the paraphrase, and which one plagiarizes, right? Question number 2, this is where you need to read the essay on Halloween. So after you've read the essay, it's a movie review of Halloween. After you've read it, close it out, right? I don't want you to be looking at it. Then I want you to provide a summary of the essay and give an APA parenthetical citation. So let's say you were writing an essay yourself about horror movies or about Halloween specifically, and you're using this essay as one of your sources. And in your essay, you're going to summarize the essay on Halloween. So write your summary, and then if it was in an essay, you'd have to give the parenthetical citation, what goes in the parentheses, right? Give me that. So write a summary of it. And remember, a summary is just hitting the main ideas, not the details, just the main ideas, okay? So read through the essay. It's a student-written essay, so it's pretty easy to read. Read the essay, and then close it out, don't look at it, and provide a summary of it with a parenthetical citation, right? Question number 3 says, read the passage below. After you've read it, write a paraphrase of the passage and provide an APA parenthetical citation. So you'll read that passage. The 20s were the years when drinking was against the law. Read that passage, and then I give you the information you need to give a parenthetical citation. So remember, you're doing a paraphrase of this one, not a summary, right? Question number 4, same idea. You're going to read the passage and then provide a paraphrase with the citation. Same thing for number 5. Read the passage, give a paraphrase with the citation. Okay? So that's part 1. Part 2, we're going to work on direct quotes. Now, part 2 is where it probably gets the most confusing. For part 2, you are going to imagine that you are writing an argumentative research essay on why it's important to have children do household chores, right? We have a working claim already provided for us. We even have the main points that we're going to discuss in the essay given to us. One of the sources we're going to use in the essay, the imaginary essay, is more chores, fewer allergies. That's the other thing that's attached. You're going to need to read the article, More Chores, Fewer Allergies, and it's really short. It was in Time for Kids. It's not even in a thing that's for adults. It's Time for Kids, like Time Magazine for kids. So it's really short. You're going to read that article, and you're going to be using that as one of your sources in this imaginary essay. And then you're going to incorporate that into the task that you have to complete. So underneath those instructions, you see the essay topic for this imaginary essay is young kids performing household chores. Our working claim for this essay is having parents implement daily or weekly chores benefits young children because it equips them with skills needed for life as adults, teaches them the importance of responsibility and teamwork, and promotes better health and well-being. So our first main point that we would be discussing in this imaginary essay is how daily or weekly chores benefit children because it equips them with skills needed for life as adults. So that would be the first section of the essay. The next section is main point number 2, how those chores teaches them the importance of responsibility and teamwork, right? Our third main point is how it promotes better health and well-being. That's the section we're going to work on right now. We're going to pretend like main points number 1 and number 2 have already been written in the essay. We're working on writing the section on main point number 3, how daily or weekly chores promotes better health and well-being for kids, right? You are going to write that paragraph on main point number 3. Pretend like paragraphs for the main points 1 and 2 have already been written. You've already got an introductory paragraph with your claim. You've already written the first paragraph on main point number 1. You've already written the paragraph on main point number 2. Now we're going to write the paragraph on main point number 3, using the article as your source. I want you to write the paragraph. The beginning of the paragraph needs to give a transitional topic sentence. So that means the topic sentence needs to directly relate to the main point you're about to make, and it needs to remind us of the main point we just read about. So that's main point number 2. So take the information that we know about main point number 2 and use that to create the transition going into main point number 3. Then discuss your ideas about main point number 3 and lead us into either a paraphrase or a direct quote from the article that you are using for this, the one from Time for Kids. Include a parenthetical citation immediately following your paraphrase or quote. Offer analysis or explanation of the paraphrase or quote that you used. And then end the paragraph with some sort of concluding sentence that sums up the main point of that paragraph. So I know that's a little complex, but it really gives you a chance to practice creating a whole paragraph and using a source to help support your main point. Don't worry about the other parts of the essay. Like I said, we're just going to imagine that the introduction has already been written. The first body paragraph on main point number 1 is there. Second body paragraph on main point number 2 is there. We don't need to worry about the concluding paragraph that's going to end the essay. Don't worry about that. Just write a paragraph on main point number 3 using the essay that's attached from Time for Kids, the More Chores, Fewer Allergies. Use that as your source to help back up main point number 3. You can do a paraphrase or a direct quote, either one, and then provide the citation, right? So it sounds complicated, but at the same time, it's really not. And again, I think the topic is something that we could probably all relate to. We probably all have an opinion of it, whether we have kids or that we grew up in a house that had to do chores and things like that. So use that to your advantage. This isn't a foreign subject to most of us, I don't think. Think about how, the working claim leads to the three main points. Imagine the essay in your mind, and you are going to write the third body paragraph that goes with main point number 3, using the essay attached, the article attached as your source, right? Just do your best. This is just practice, because yes, you took Comp 2. Who knows the last time you guys had to write a research paper, though? Could have been last quarter, could have been, 4 quarters ago. Who knows? So this just gives you a chance to practice that, right? And that's it. So part 1, again, has the 5 questions where you're dealing with summary and paraphrase. Part 2 is all about the direct quotes, where you're going to write that paragraph for the third main point of this imaginary essay. If you have any questions about it, because I know it is a little difficult, especially part 2 there, please let me know right away. But again, just do your best. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just do your best, right? Think of this as practice, right? Or as a refresher if you need to. But if you have any questions or concerns about it, please let me know. And then the third item for homework in week 9 is, of course, the week 9 discussion. This is our last discussion involving the posters and text to analyze. Week 10 will be something different. So week 9 here, we are looking at an AIDS prevention poster from the University of California, Berkeley Student Health Service. It shows an apple with a snake wrapped around it, and it's coming off of like the branch of a tree. We see the leaves and the white blossoms. Up in the right-hand corner, you see the artist's name and then the year, 1985. It's important to note that this poster was created and disseminated in 1985, and we're talking about AIDS prevention. It is also important to know that this came from UC Berkeley. Okay. And then, of course, you have the same questions that you have every week. What's the issue being presented? How would you state the claim? Who do you think is the intended audience? What are any assumptions that are present in it? What kind of support is being used in it? What makes it interesting or effective? And then any additional comments or questions. This is the toughest of all the images we've looked at. This image, this poster, is so complex and so layered. Now I'm not going to say this is true for every student who's ever done this poster with me. I will just say the majority, though. The majority of students have to go beyond their initial interpretation. You have to push yourself past what you see first and go from there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see this discussion and then your journals to the follow-up video in week 10. If you do your best, of course. If you really are struggling with coming up with anything about this, please get in touch with me and I'll kind of give you some pointers, to what direction to head in. And of course, if you have any technical difficulties, let me know right away. But that's it for week 9. Glance over chapter 13. Do the week 9 assignment 1 on working on integrating sources. Do your best on it. Let me know if any of it's confusing and you need some more clarification. And then the week 9 discussion on the AIDS prevention poster. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, you guys are free to move on to the next module.